So how can you turn a simple, boring triad, right, which is the simplest form of a chord, it's just 3 notes, how can you actually turn that into a more richer, fuller sounding chord so that you can make your arrangements more unique to you and just make them sound better, right? So that's what we're going to go over today. And it's actually really simple. And all that we're going to be doing is we're just going to be expanding our triads into full expressive voicings. Okay? Now, for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Jamil Valdovinos. I'm the co-founder of fluentguitar.com, and I help self-taught guitar players stop relying on tabs and start creating their own unique creative covers, okay? Their own unique fingerstyle arrangements, even if they can't play by ear yet and have no idea on how music theory actually works. Now, stick around with me, because if you want your chords, okay, to sound like they came from a record, okay, stick with me, because I'm gonna be giving away my triad expansion sheet, okay, so that you can build richer chords on the fly, okay? So let's actually get on to this, okay? So a triad, right? It's the simplest form of a chord, right? So let's say we're just building a C major chord, right? Now a C major chord, okay, consists of our notes C, E, and G, okay? So if we would find it on the fretboard, right, you guys already know, you have your simple C chord, okay? We have right here a simple C major chord, right? But in reality, this chord is it's actually coming off from a triad, right? So its original notes is just 3 notes, right? It's just C, E, and G. So when we do C, E, and G, we have C right here on our 3rd fret. We have E right here on our 2nd fret, okay? And then we have G on our open string G right there, right? So there we go. That would be right there a triad, you know? That would be our C major triad, okay? So here's how we would actually turn this simple boring triad, right, and this can be with any chord, how you would actually turn it into a more richer, fuller sounding triad, right, is we would just repeat the notes that we have, those 3 notes, right? We would just add more of those 3 notes in our chord. Okay, so if I have a G, right, I can actually play another G right here. Okay, so I can add that G right there. Okay, and now it's turning into a more richer sounding voicing, right? But guess what? I can actually add more to my chord. Okay, I can add another E. Okay, so right here we have the low E string, so we can add that low E right there. Okay, so now we will have, okay, but guess what? We actually have another string left, right here, our B string. Okay, we can still use this B string, and in our B string 1st fret we have right there another C, right? So now we literally have a full-blown chord. You see that? You see how it went from 2. Okay, this is how you turn a simple boring triad into a more fuller sounding chord, right? Now if we have our regular, right, C major, right, that we like usually see, right, it's just this one, right, you know, and it works the same way, because like instead of putting our G over here, right, we're now just putting another E. Okay, this is our high E string, right? So we can do this, or we can do this as well. Okay, take that E off, just put another G in there, okay, because it's part of our triad. So you see, this is how you can turn those triads into more fuller expressive chords for your arrangements. And the reason why this works in arrangements is because we can just take that triad. Once we find our chord, once we find our triad, right, we can just simply expand that, make that sound richer, add an extra note, you know. If we can add another finger in there, right, boom, right? Or maybe we're playing on, we have open strings, you know, we can add in those open strings, make our arrangement sound more unique to ourselves, right? More creative, you know, sound more richer, right? So yeah, now if you actually want more of a visual, okay, on how to do this, okay, I actually have my triad expansion sheet that I talked about in the beginning, okay, so that you can basically expand those triads into full more expressive voicings, okay, more expressive chords, okay. So if you want your chords to sound like they came from a record, okay, um, just comment the word expansion and I'll send it to you for free. See you in the next one. God bless you.